We're starting this deep dive with, well, a pretty unsettling thought. Imagine you're watching a video. Could be news, maybe evidence for something important.
Yeah.
The speaker looks perfect,
Right.
right? Lighting spot on, voice sounds completely real, the whole context feels genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, the entire thing, the words, the person, the moment you're seeing, it never happened. Purely AI generated.
And it's that anxiety, isn't it? That moment where you realize seeing and hearing, well, they might not equal truth anymore. That's really the heart of our mission today.
Right.
We're diving deep into synthetic media, truth, trust, and law in the AI era, because this future, where AI video, audio, images are just everywhere, hyper-realistic, it's not coming, it's here.
Yeah, it really feels like it's arrived almost overnight, and the urgency is just ramping up like crazy. These tools went from lab experiments to, well, tools for serious crime practically instantly.
It's the speed, isn't it?
Exactly. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, they reported complaints about deepfake AI videos more than double in just one recent year. That's huge.
Wow.
And the tech itself. It's getting cheaper, easier to use, and scarily convincing.
So if you're listening and trying to get a handle on what this all means for, your own life, for society, you're in the right place. We really need to understand the big picture here. How does this flood of synthetic media challenge our legal systems, our personal security, and maybe most importantly, that basic trust we have in, well, reality?
Okay, let's try and unpack that. Let's map out the problem space, as they say. Where are the biggest risks? Maybe start with the most direct one. Money, financial crime, impersonation.
Yeah, and the sophistication is already, frankly, astonishing. Impersonation is an immediate threat. We've already seen that case. You probably heard about it. The UK energy firm CEO.
Well, the voice clone one.
Exactly. Completely fooled by an AI-generated voice of his boss, the parent company's CEO. That fake voice, sounding perfectly authentic, convinced him to order a massive transfer.
How much was it again?
220,000 euros. Gone. To a criminal account, just based on a fake voice call.
And that was just audio, right? A few years back. Now we're talking live deep fakes, like video calls.
Precisely. Real-time, live deepfake streaming. Video call impersonation where a criminal can look and sound exactly like your boss or a client during a live meeting.
Wow. To steal data, authorize fraud.
Yeah, all of that. The speed and realism make, the usual ways we check identity pretty much obsolete in those moments.
Right.
And it's not just high-level fraud. Think about forged video evidence in business disputes, fake audio recordings, or even AI crafting super-targeted phishing emails that sound just like they came from inside the company.
Okay, so that's the financial angle. But then there's the potential for, well, much bigger disruption. Political manipulation, propaganda.
Yeah, this is where it scales up dramatically. Imagine the power, being able to instantly create a totally convincing video, audio, and video of a major political leader saying something utterly disastrous.
Like we surrender in a conflict, or we're launching an attack.
Exactly those kinds of things. Inflammatory statements, false confessions, fake policy announcements. The danger isn't just that one fake video might fool everyone.
Okay.
The real danger, the deeper one, is how it scrambles our collective understanding of truth. If you can't be sure what a politician actually said 5 minutes ago.
Or what's really happening on a battlefield.
Right. That uncertainty, that's the perfect breeding ground for election interference, for fake crisis videos designed purely to sow chaos and distrust. It just chips away at any shared sense of reality.
Fractures objective consensus, as you said.
Yeah.
And look, before we move off the misuse vectors, we absolutely have to talk about the personal harm, the non-consensual intimate content. That's a huge part of this, unfortunately.
It is, and it's devastating. It's arguably one of the most prevalent and damaging uses right now. The stats just horrifying.
Yeah.
In one snapshot study, over 143,000 new deepfake porn videos were uploaded to major sites. And while you hear about celebrities like the Taylor Swift incident recently...
Right, they got a lot of attention.
No, it did. But the vast majority of this targets ordinary people, private citizens. Used for blackmail, for vicious harassment, for online bullying campaigns. The damage is profound and often permanent.
So you put all these together, the financial scams, the political manipulation, the personal attacks.
Yeah.
It all leads to what you call the biggest casualty, trust.
Exactly.
When people start thinking, well, any video could be fake, that creates this double-edged problem, doesn't it?
It really does. It's deeply destabilizing. On one side, actual, real evidence, a genuine recording might get dismissed. People just won't believe it. Oh, that could be a deep fake.
Right. The liar's dividend, they call it.
Precisely. But on the other side, A cleverly made fake, a synthetic piece of evidence, might actually be believed. It could look and sound convincing enough.
So how do we even know what's real anymore? That's a huge challenge for, say, the justice system.
No, immense pressure. Think about a courtroom scenario. A prosecutor presents video of a suspect apparently confessing, but the defense lawyer stands up and says, "Your Honor, that's not our client. That's an AI fabrication." How does a judge or jury even evaluate that?
Or altered CCTV footage, an AI-cloned voice used as evidence.
Yes. And criminals now have an incentive to create what some are calling synthetic alibis.
Yeah.
A perfectly plausible AI-generated video showing the suspect somewhere else entirely during the time of the crime, complete with realistic background noise, context, everything.
Making prosecution incredibly difficult.
Exponentially harder. It basically forces a complete rethink of evidentiary standards. The days of just assuming seeing is believing with video or audio, they're over.
So what's the adaptation? What do courts do?
They have to adopt much, much stricter authentication protocols. We have to shift focus from what the video shows to where it came from, its origin, its provenance.
Okay, provenance tracking, you mentioned that, and forensic verification. Can you break down provenance tracking a bit more simply for us? What does that actually mean for a video file? Is it like a digital receipt?
That's a good way to start thinking about it, yeah. But it's more like a video's verifiable birth certificate and its entire life story, all cryptographically sealed.
Okay.
Provenance tracking means documenting the exact chain of custody. Where was this file created? What device? When? And crucially, every single edit, every transfer it's gone through since creation, all logged and secured.
How? Like technically?
We're talking about things like cryptographic watermarking embedded deep in the file, digital signatures, secure metadata logs, things that mathematically prove the media is authentic and hasn't been tampered with.
Doesn't that require a massive shift? Like everyone, from Hollywood studios down to me, posting a cat video, needing to use some complex new standard immediately. Is that even feasible?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a huge challenge because you're right. It demands widespread adoption.
And you mentioned forensic verification, too. Isn't that a human process, trying to keep up with AI that's generating fakes faster and faster?
That's the core conflict, yes. Detection technology is constantly playing catch-up. Forensic analysts, they look for tiny giveaways, inconsistencies in lighting, weird reflections in the eyes, unnatural movements.
Yeah.
But the newest AI models, they're learning to erase those tells incredibly quickly, sometimes faster than analysts can identify them.
So if a video doesn't have that perfect digital birth certificate, that provenance?
In the future, it might become heavily challenged in court or potentially even inadmissible altogether. The burden of proof for authenticity is going way, way up.
And if we bring this back down from the courts to just everyday life, the personal impact, you mentioned relationship harm.
Devastating potential. Imagine a fake video appearing to show infidelity or manipulated messages used to destroy someone's reputation online. Even if the fake is eventually exposed, maybe weeks or months later.
The damage is done.
Often, yes. The emotional fallout, the broken trust can be permanent.
And that personal erosion, scaled up across millions of people, leads back to that societal crisis you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. If skepticism becomes the default setting for everyone, if we automatically distrust what we see and hear, the whole basis for public debate, for shared understanding, starts to crumble.
It raises the bar for proving anything, really.
It does. And that ultimately weakens democratic stability because consensus relies on some level of shared, trusted information.
Okay, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the potential chaos here. It sounds pretty bleak.
It can, definitely. But we always need to remember, these AI systems, they're tools. Powerful tools, yes, but still tools. And like any powerful tool, they have incredible upsides, too.
Right, the balancing act. We have to talk about the positive potential, the opportunities.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest silver linings is this huge democratization of media creation. Think about high-quality production value, realistic special effects, big crowd scenes, professional voiceovers in multiple languages.
Stuff that used to cost millions, right? Hollywood budgets only.
Precisely. For decades, that level of polish required massive budgets, huge teams, specialized hardware and software.
But
Now, an independent filmmaker, maybe working with a tiny budget, can suddenly achieve startlingly high production value.
how so? Like, give us an example.
Okay, well, they could use AI to generate realistic digital extras for a crowd scene instead of hiring hundreds of people. That massively cuts costs and logistical headaches.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or even more powerfully, think about language. AI can now do instant professional-sounding dubbing for films or videos, keeping the original actor's voice characteristics, their cadence, even emotion, but speaking fluently in another language.
Wow, so that opens up global audiences for smaller creators.
Massively. It breaks down huge economic and linguistic barriers, which connects directly to another big positive: accessibility and innovation.
Hmm.
Think about people with disabilities, particularly voice impairments. AI voice cloning, custom avatars. These can be life-changing communication aids, giving someone back a natural-sounding voice for talking, for storytelling.
That's incredible. And in education.
Imagine immersive, realistic, historical recreations. Students could maybe interact with AI versions of historical figures or explore ancient sites rendered perfectly. Makes learning much more engaging.
And I guess commercially, the speed must be a huge factor too.
Oh, revolutionary. Marketing teams can iterate incredibly fast, generate personalized ads, say, with voiceovers automatically matching regional dialects, or even tailored to individual customer profiles.
All without hiring casts of voice actors for every variation.
Exactly. The efficiency is off the charts. And it also enables completely new forms of creative expression.
Meaning, not all deepfakes are malicious.
Not at all. Some are powerful tools for satire, for commentary, for art. We've seen things like that web series, Sassy Justice, using deepfake-style tech for comedy and political critique. It's a new medium, a new canvas.
So we have this double-edged sword then, democratizing creativity on one hand, but threatening truth and trust on the other. How do we navigate that? What actually needs to be done, like right now, to manage the risks?
It really has to be a multi-pronged approach. There's no single silver bullet. It involves education, technology, and law all working together.
Okay, start with education. What does that look like?
First and foremost, media literacy on a massive scale. The public has to internalize the idea that seeing is not always believing anymore. Just knowing how easily things can be faked is the first crucial defense against manipulation.
But just telling people to be skeptical. Is that enough when the fakes get really good? Near perfect.
Probably not on its own, no. That's where the technology has to fight back against itself, in a way.
Right, the authentication infrastructure you mentioned.
Exactly. We need serious investment and widespread adoption of those cryptographic watermarks, the digital certificates, the secure provenance tracking we talked about.
Built into cameras,
Right.
phones, platforms.
Ideally, yes. Built into the entire media ecosystem so authenticity can be verified right from the source.
What about the legal side? Are current laws enough to handle, say, deepfake porn or AI-powered scams?
Generally, no. They weren't designed for this. Legal frameworks absolutely need to evolve. We need clear laws that target specific malicious uses.
Boy.
Laws requiring transparency, clearly labeling when content is AI generated in certain contexts. And critically, laws that specifically protect people from non-consensual uses, like the deepfake pornography issue.
Is anything happening there?
There are efforts. In the U.S., for instance, there's proposed legislation like the Take It Down Act, which aims to create clear legal recourse against creating and sharing non-consensual, intimate AI images. That's a necessary step.
It still feels like this perpetual arms race, though. AI gets better at faking, detection tech tries to catch up.
It is an arms race, unfortunately, and we have to keep investing in the detection side, forensic analysis, understanding the AI models themselves, finding new kinds of tells.
But you said earlier the tells are disappearing.
They are, especially with the highest quality fakes. Which is why, ultimately, we might become less reliant on spotting flaws and more reliant on that robust authentication infrastructure. Proving where it came from becomes more important than spotting if it looks fake.
So building resilience means technology plus trusted sources.
Yeah, building systems of accountability, having trusted institutions, maybe news organizations, fact checkers, platform mechanisms that can help verify content definitively, even when our own eyes and ears might be fooled.
Okay, so let's try and sum this up. As we've unpacked today, it really feels like we're facing these two powerful simultaneous realities. On one side, this undeniable, vast potential for misuse. Sophisticated fraud, political chaos, legal nightmares, the erosion of trust.
A scary list. Yeah.
But on the other side, this incredible wave of democratization, accessibility, innovation, new ways to create and communicate.
That's the paradox. The tool itself is neutral, it's how it's used. And this tool is exceptionally powerful for both good and ill.
And the core takeaway seems to be this fundamental shift in how we have to treat what we see and hear.
Absolutely. That's the bottom line. Video, audio, they can no longer be treated as automatic guarantees of truth. The content itself isn't enough anymore.
It needs context, verification.
It needs provenance, it needs context, it needs metadata, it needs verification. We have to fundamentally change our relationship with recorded media.
The era of just trusting your eyes and ears, it's ending. Or maybe it's already over.
Which leaves us all, you listening right now included, with that critical question. The one that defines this new normal every time you pick up your phone or watch a screen.
Yeah.
When I watch this video or listen to this voice or look at this photo, can I actually trust it? Is it real or is it synthetic? That fundamental ambiguity, that uncertainty, that's what's forcing everything. Our justice systems, our media, even our personal relationships to adapt, whether we feel ready for it or not.